Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be talking about XDefiant. The most recent beta is currently out. I believe it's going to be the final beta before the full launch of the game. As of right now, we do not have a release date, but it's said to be towards the end of summer. This beta, compared to the previous ones, feels a lot better because the hit detection has been improved, the netcode has been improved. The netcode does feel off at times, but that can be adjusted. We currently have all the factions, all the guns, and all the attachments available right now. There may be some surprises for the full launch of the game, but in terms of like what we've ever experienced in the beta for XDefiant, we basically have everything right now, and that is why I want to make this video here today, giving my honest review, my honest impressions of XDefiant, and whether or not I think it's going to be a contender in the FPS scene, and whether or not it's going to be a good game going forward. Before we come to that conclusion, we have to break down the different aspects of the game. We have the factions, we have the weapons, the maps, the firing range, as well as the future of the game to talk about, so let's go ahead and jump right into that. When it comes to factions, they each have unique abilities and ultra abilities. Ultra abilities are basically the ultimates in this game, right? Balance is pretty good overall, but I will say there appears to be some inconsistencies when it comes to the different factions. Like, for example, in most of your games, how many of the people on your team and the other team look like this chick? And that's because she's with the Libertads. I think everyone calls them the Libtards, but they have healing aspects, right? They can heal over time, they can heal themselves, kind of like with a stim. They can heal their teammates with their ultimate. They seem far and beyond the most played faction in the game. Like, you'll get into a match, there's 12 people, there's 5 factions, yet 7 people of the 12 people in that lobby are playing the one faction with the one ability. That's pretty crazy if you ask me. I'm wondering if balance is an issue there, or if they feel as though it's good. Maybe it's just popular right now. I'm not entirely sure. I think they're definitely looking at that, and I think it's possible they may actually get nerfed in the future, or perhaps they may buff up some of the other factions to be within their range. But at the same time, the other factions are not bad, and some of them are downright annoying. I'll just straight up say it right now. Like, you have that annoying ass spider robot that you get like every 20 or 30 seconds. You throw it out like the old drone from Black Ops 4 from Prophet, and it just stuns you. It jumps up on your face if you don't shoot it in time. It's a very fast-paced game. You may not even notice it coming, and then you're basically just screwed. Like, stuff like that, like, who's that for? Like, obviously it's never really fun to die, but this has to be the most annoying way to die in like any video game ever. Like, being stunned and not being able to see. Like, who actually wants that? I'm not entirely sure. Moving on with the idea of the factions, they have custom announcers for every single faction. They are hilarious, they are very unique, and I think it adds a lot of replay value to the game, because as someone who usually plays as the Phantoms, like, if I switch from the Phantoms to, say, maybe the Cleaners, it's a whole different announcer, whole different voice lines for every single game mode. All sorts of quips are happening. I really like the custom announcers, and we do know that with the full launch of the game, they're going to be adding in a new faction every single season, and they're all going to also have their own custom announcers. It's going to add a lot to the game and just make the game feel a lot more immersive, as well as a lot more interesting as you play and as you try out the different factions. And right now, there are currently 3 different characters to choose from each of the factions in the game, and they all will be customizable at launch. You can set your favorite, so whenever you're playing as the Cleaners, you can be this guy, but if you're playing as the Phantoms, you could be this girl. And then in the game itself, as we get to the full launch, you're going to be able to customize those characters through different things you can unlock, as well as, of course, the battle pass, but we'll be covering that later on here in the video. So, factions. I think the game is going to live or die by the factions themselves, similar to a game like Black Ops 4, which was kind of polarizing with the different abilities that characters had. A lot of people that are jumping into this game, they can get used to the factions, but for some people, they don't like the abilities. Other people are fine with it. Other people love it. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. For me, I think the factions are fine. I just think there's some really annoying aspects to them, and I hope to see those changed in the future, because again, stupid spider is probably the bane of my existence, but if that's the biggest problem with it, then we may actually have a pretty good system on our hands. Next up, let's talk about the weapons. Right now, there's not a lot of weapons in the game. There just isn't a whole lot of them, right? There's decent variety there, and they are very iconic, and these are well-known weapons, right? We're talking about the M4, the M16, the Desert Eagle, the MP5, the P90, the MP7. They brought the Mosin Nagant, the World War II Russian sniper rifle, into the game as well. You have the AK-47, which is my personal favorite weapon, and right now, subjectively, I feel like assault rifles are the best overall. I mean, submachine guns can be good, for sure, but you have to be pretty up close for that to happen. Shotguns can also be pretty good if you're playing on a small map like Arena or Noodleplex, but in general, just across the board, assault rifles seem really damn good. I'm wondering if that's a balance issue. I wonder if they're going to be changing that around launch. I'm sure, like any online shooter game, they're going to be making checks and balances, right? They're going to to be trying to make sure if assault rifles are really good, then maybe we have to nerf them, or maybe we have to bring up submachine guns a little bit to be able to compete with them. And if we do that, how's that going to affect the light machine guns? How is that going to affect sniper play? Speaking of snipers, oh my goodness, they're so annoying. And that's coming from someone who is like really bad at sniping. Like, I acknowledge there's zero aim assist on controller when you're trying to use a sniper rifle, but I'm sure you guys have seen all the clips, man, because here's a little tip for YouTube. If you're just kind of wondering about like the insides of YouTube and stuff like that, the reason why when a new game comes out, every single thumbnail has a sniper rifle in it, it's because for some reason people click sniper rifle videos. People want to see good sniper gameplay. That's been a thing forever, since like the old school Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2 days. It's always been a thing. You may not have noticed it before, but I'm sure a lot of you guys have picked up on that. And when it comes to the snipers, they are very hard to use with a controller, but once you get good with it, they are ridiculously powerful. And if you're on keyboard and mouse, you already have really good aim, the snipers are even better. And the problem for me, and I'm sure a lot of you guys out there as well, is there's really no counterplay to the snipers because they don't really have a ton of flinch when they're being shot at. Their handling is decent. You can make it faster as well with different attachments, and they're almost always a one-shot kill. So you see a guy, you start lighting them up, you drop instantly, and you feel really bad when that happens. I'm not sure if there's a way for them to fix that without killing sniper rifles entirely. I'm just saying it feels really bad, and I'm sure a lot of other people are in the same boat. So snipers, it's always hard to balance them. I would argue they are the hardest thing to actually balance in a first-person shooter game. But yeah, there's two of them right now. You have the Mosin, then you have like the TAC 50, I think it's called. It's like a 50 caliber sniper rifle, and both seem pretty damn good. They're hard to use, but once you get good with them, they are very rewarding at the same time. But yeah, I hope to see more weapon variety when the game comes out. Right now, they're talking about 3 brand new weapons every single season, and leaks and rumors have suggested that the L96 sniper as well as the G36C are going to be coming to the game in season 1. I'm not sure what the third weapon is going to be, but we know about those two. So yeah, more weapons are going to be coming down the pipeline, and the weapons that they have right now I think are interesting, and they also already have progression paths in the game from the previous betas where you can unlock bronze camo, silver camo, gold camo. I'm not sure what they're going to be doing in terms of animated camos or things like that, but there will be different customizable things and different challenges for every single weapon in the game as well, which kind of makes every weapon feel unique. If we go back to the idea of Black Ops 4, in Black Ops 4, they again also did not have a whole lot of weapons at launch, but that was very intentional. They wanted every weapon to feel incredibly unique and have a really good balancing as compared to just throwing weapon after weapon after weapon after weapon in the game. They actually care about the balance of this game. They want every weapon to have its own place and also be unique at the same time. And with the mastery challenges that apparently will be there at launch, I can definitely see that working out. So overall, the weapons are pretty solid here within XDefiant. Next up, we have the maps. I mean, these things are beautiful and fun. What more do you want me to tell you, man? These are taken from different Ubisoft games, but only the fun stuff pretty much, right? Like, we're not playing in a bombed out Russian city. We're not playing in the desert in the Middle East like in Call of Duty and stuff. I'm talking every single map in this game is like an amusement park, a Hollywood movie set, Noodleplex, which is basically the Google offices. We have Arena, which is like a game show in the middle of a basketball court. Like, all of the maps are beautiful, vibrant, and they're fun. They're very lighthearted. They're interesting to look at. We got Times Square, for crying out loud, which might be the most gritty one. Like, it's really freaking cool how awesome these maps look, and that's going to add a lot more replay value to the game, I think. All the maps are also pretty well balanced as well, in my opinion. They're very fun to play on. Some game modes can be annoying, like when you're attacking or defending and you die, and then you have like this 100-meter run back just to get back to the objective. That can feel bad at times, but I genuinely don't think there are any bad maps that we've seen so far within XDefiant. My least favorite would maybe be Echelon. I'll put some gameplay of Echelon up right here. This may be my least favorite map, but I certainly don't hate it, so that's definitely a good sign. Next up, we have the firing range, and I already did a full video on this. It's absolutely incredible, and it was actually pointed out to me after that video that if you want to check out the detailed stats of your weapon, all you have to do is go into your attachments on that weapon, and then from there, you can see what your stats would be like with no attachments, with your current attachments, with each individual attachment on top of that. Like, the firing range is incredible. I think they're going to iterate upon it again because there was like some sort of a bug in a previous beta where the training course that you could run through and do basically obstacles and shoot targets and things. Well, there's an actual scoring system in the previous beta when it was a bug. So I think that's going to be fixed at launch and that's going to be actually there. That sounds fantastic. So overall, we talked about the general updates. We talked about the factions. We've talked about the weapons, the maps, the firing range. What more could this game possibly have as we transition to the final part of the video here, the future? What is the future of XDefiant going to be like? Well, I think this game has everything, with the exception, and a lot of people were asking me about this on my stream yesterday, kill streaks. They're wondering if kill streaks are ever going to be in the game, because a big part of the audience for XDefiant, obviously you have your normal shooter fan, you have your Ubisoft fan, but a lot of these people are COD refugees, people that want Call of Duty to be like it used to be back in the day, and then XDefiant came in and said, hey, we basically have that for you. But the problem for these fans is they're wondering, where are the kill streaks? I've seen so many people saying, well, if I go on a 20 kill streak, I feel like I should be rewarded for something. There should be a nuke, there should be, you know, different kinds of things, whether it's like a Hellstorm missile or a UAV or you know, anything, attack helicopter, chopper gunner, AC-130, doesn't matter. People want kill streaks in the game. I think kill streaks could potentially work, but it also does take away from the fast arcade shooter feel that we have here with XDefiant. If you think about it, the kill streaks, quote unquote, are going to be your ultimate abilities as well as your normal abilities for your faction. Normal abilities just kind of come back on their own. Ultimate abilities are earned faster by good play. I think they could adjust that, so maybe you could do more things with the faction abilities based on how well you are doing to give people that sense of kill streaks, I guess. But I could also see them maybe in the future messing around with the idea of kill streaks within certain game modes, and then maybe adding them to the full game itself. I don't know. So far, I don't believe any developer has ever mentioned anything about kill streaks with XDefiant. If I'm wrong, please correct me down there in the comments. I do not think that they are in the vision. I don't think they're part of the roadwork for XDefiant going forward, but I could be wrong. And I would also say that I'm open to the idea of kill streaks, but I also enjoy the game without them as well, so I could really take or leave that. Now, they have already confirmed on Twitter as well that a classic prestige system will be coming to the game after launch, which is kind of concerning. Like, why not have it be there right there at the very beginning of the game? But maybe the classic prestige system is going to begin with season 1. I'm not entirely sure, but classic prestige will be coming to XDefiant, and in previous betas we saw different progression systems to unlock the different guns, the different equipment, the different characters for the factions. All that stuff was in the previous betas, and I imagine that they have been changing and tweaking those things over the course of the last couple of months. So in conclusion, the final part of the video here, the game itself is really damn good. It has solid bones, and I can see myself playing this game a ton. I just really hope that player progression is paramount and the game feels like a living, breathing entity with lots of new stuff to do and lots of things to look forward to, while we enjoy the great gunplay, the fast-paced action on the incredible maps, while we enjoy everything that is XDefiant and makes it what it is. I fully feel like this is going to be a fantastic game. I've seen so many people saying it's going to be like Splitgate 2.0, it's going to be dead 3 months after launch. Other people are going all in with the game. They're like, you know what, this is going to be my game. I love this game. XDefiant is everything I've wanted in a shooter. Now it's finally happening. Everyone has an opinion on this game, man, and anything could happen. For sure, the game could die 2 months in. You know, the game could die right after season 1. It really could. The game could also become like the next CSGO and just be playing for 15 years. You know, anything could technically happen. I have a feeling it's going to be more somewhere in between. I don't think the game is going to die right after launch. Is it going to go on for 10 plus years? I don't know. I really doubt that as well. But also, when you look at a game that comes out, are you really expecting to play it for the next 10 straight years? Like, you know, that's kind of a hard thing to pull off. But I would be happy if they just simply released the game. It has all the progression content in there, and then on top of that, they just continue to add more and more things to the game and make it more enjoyable for fans. Like, that's the big thing. We just want a shooter that is not shitty like COD has been recently, and XDefiant is basically that. So I'm enjoying the game a lot. I keep playing it every single day. I'm going to be very sad when the beta goes away and we have to wait until the end of summer to actually play the game again, but at the same time, distance makes the heart grow fonder, I suppose, because I'm going to be really enjoying that game when it actually comes out towards the end of summer. We're going to have something to actually look forward to, while at the same time there's going to be the betas and the pre-release content for the next COD as well. So from a YouTube perspective, it's going to be fun with all the different things to talk about, but from a gamer perspective, as someone who just wants to like enjoy playing video games, I love XDefiant. I genuinely find it fun, and I think that we have a really, really solid foundation here, and it's really up to Ubisoft to really make sure this game takes advantage of the incredible start that it has and the hype that it has. They picked a perfect time to come out because people are pissed off at COD, people are bored of COD, people are really pissed off at Overwatch as well. It's the perfect time for this game to come out, and I really hope they take advantage of it, and I hope the game flourishes as a result. But ladies and gentlemen, that is all for my little impressions review video here today. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave your thoughts and feedback down there in the comments, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.